On Thursday, massive protests erupted across France under the slogan "Block Everything," as hundreds of thousands of teachers, healthcare workers, transit staff, and students demonstrated against the government's new budget. The cuts, which unions say will slash public service and working families, sparked walkouts, road blockages, and clashes with police in Paris and other major cities, where barricades and fires brought daily life to a standstill. The unrest comes just days after Sébastien Lecornu replaced Francis Bayrou as prime minister, leaving the fragile new government immediately tested. As anger grows over budget cuts, the protests threaten to deepen France's political crisis. On Thursday, a federal judge in Washington, D.C. stopped the Trump administration from deporting Guatemalan children who had come to the U.S. alone, ruling that the government had no evidence that their parents had requested their return. Judge Timothy J. Kelly sharply criticized officials for presenting a justification that, quote, crumbled like a house of cards, calling the effort legally unsound. The rulings blocked deportations for minors without final removal orders, leaving the children in the U.S. while their cases play out. The decision set up a broader legal battle over immigration policy and the limits of executive power. In Northampton, Massachusetts, city leaders announced to ban the sale of synthetic drugs after growing concerns from residents about health risks and misuse. The proposal comes after a series of incidents linked to synthetic substances, which community members say have an increasing safety issue downtown. If passed, the measure would prohibit sales within city limits. Northampton would join other cities across the region moving to crack down on synthetic drug use at the local level. I'm Shira, and thanks for watching.
We're sitting down with Kendall Mangum, the president of the Black Student Union. The BSU was established by Kendall with the help of her friend Deshauna in the fall of 2023. We're going to figure out what BSU is, who can join, and what they're going to do within our school this year.
You're here with Kendall.
And Anari.
What are our roles in Black Student Union? I am the president. She's the vice president. I've been standing president for about 3 years since my sophomore year. What is BSU? I feel like that's a hard question to answer just because our club is very multifaceted. What I wanted to create when I started it was really just a place with a lot of social cohesion where everybody was allowed to be different, but we all had our very obvious similarities. Honestly, I think more than anything, it's a safe space for people that look like me, for people that look like me, you know what I mean? Maybe, it's not a political organization, even though, we are inherently, political, but we just really aim to bring happiness to the children of color at NHS.
BSU to me is essentially the same thing, just community building with people who come from different schools or in different grades. Every individual who's willing to come, it's just a space for us all to be in one and connect with each other.
What is BSU going to do this year? Well, me and Anari have come up with quite a few ideas around especially leaving something behind because we know it's our senior year. So especially where in the past where we only focus on 1 month, we kind of wanted to stray away from that. Obviously doing something in February and in June, but trying to figure out a way that it's not necessarily about our specific action as much it is about the group's legacy and how it will continue to impact kids after we leave. So honestly, just trying to figure out how we can create something that actually lasts beyond me and Anari.
What do we hope to do with BSU? Essentially just create a space in which will last throughout the years and will help highlight and emphasize Black excellence in our community and inside of our school, and just bring attention to all the different things that often get overlooked or just not often talked about or just often forgot, and try to shift the narrative on the main historical figures and entities we commonly discuss and go past that. And because there's many individuals who did so much who don't get enough recognition as they should.
Not just MLK.
Not at all.
Who can join BSU? Honestly, anyone can join. It doesn't matter as long as you want to be there.
The BSU has weekly meetings on Wednesdays. More info to come soon. Come support.
Last Friday, Northampton's Jazz Arts Night Out was hosted downtown. This event included performances by the Ian Bernstock Trio and the Barbara Wien Ensemble, local jazz combos. We spoke to organizers to find out more about the Northampton jazz scene.
The way that I really got involved with jazz is when I moved back to Northampton, which is my hometown. I am a graduate of Northampton High School, the class of '72. When I moved back, I discovered in 2011 that there was quite a jazz scene here. And I got to know the jazz folks and fell in love with them. And so when I was asked in 2017 if we could revive the jazz festival that had been kind of nascent for a couple of years, I knew who to turn to make it come back. The bonds that we develop with individual musicians, some of them, like tonight at Jazz Arts Night Out, I know Robbie Reuter, the guitarist, was literally the first jazz person I met in Northampton in 2011, and he introduced me to the jazz scene. So some of them are friends and neighbors. Others are Grammy Award-winning artists that we revere. The thing that's really cool about a jazz musician is that they are people first and foremost. And even when we had like Ron Carter, who's one of the most famous bass players in the world, on the Academy of Music stage, you could still talk to him. And I'll never forget him saying, "I love those chocolates that you had in my gift bag. Where did those chocolates come from? I want more of those." And so, you get to know the musicians either from being backstage with them, and they just want to have a conversation.
The Northampton jazz scene has never been more alive. If you want to check out this music in the future, just check the Northampton Jazz Fest website or northampton.live for all future events. I'm Autumn Luria, and you're watching The Transcript.